What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jacked at the40.com and shredded at the40.com. Today we're going to talk about how many days per week you should work out to build muscle after 40. The truth is, there's advantages and disadvantages to training 3, 4, 5, 6 days per week, and it's all going to be individual, and there's a lot of different factors that come into play, such as your lifestyle and recoverability. Some advantages of training 3 days per week is that you have 4 days to fully recover from your workouts. You also have 4 days to enjoy other activities that you absolutely love. Some disadvantages of training 3 days per week is that if you want to incorporate any kind of meaningful training volume and really ramp up your training volume, your workouts are going to be marathon training sessions lasting at least an hour and a half, oftentimes 2 hours or even more. Now, for me personally, I find that after 60 minutes in the gym, my mindset, like my mental capacity to really give the best focus, the best effort to the exercises I'm performing just goes down the drain. So the exercises that you're performing later on in your workouts, you're not going to have the same kind of effort that you do earlier on in your workouts. Not to mention that if you have a lifestyle where you're working 12-hour days, you have any kind of obligations with your family at all, those days are basically going to be a write-off, and it may even be a struggle to get an adequate amount of sleep that night, which is going to have a negative impact on your recovery there. So definitely something to consider if you're training 3 days per week and you want to get any kind of meaningful training volume in your plan. Advantages of training 6 days per week means that you can spread that training volume out over time. So if you're in a lower and even moderate volume training phase, your workouts are going to be really quick. You'll be in and out of the gym. You're going to have tons of focus to dedicate to each and every exercise. You're going to walk out of the gym feeling invigorated, empowered, fresh, ready to take on the day. And as you ramp up your training volume, like you can, when you're spreading it out over 6 days, you can have a whole bunch of volume, like really test the limits of your training volume, and not beat yourself down during each session. Not like still be able to recover between sessions because that volume is spread out over time. Disadvantages of training 6 days per week is that if you are working 12-hour shifts, you do have family obligations, maybe like 2 to 3 times per week after you're working your 12-hour shifts. You have obligations to go to your children's sporting events. You want to, it's not an obligation, it's something that you want to do. You want to be a part of your family life. Those 2 to 3 days per week, 6 days per week may set you up for failure because it's just impossible to make it in there and enjoy your overall lifestyle as well. Of course, 3 and 6 days is at the extreme ends of how many days per week you should be working out to build muscle after 40. I wouldn't recommend 7 days per week ever. At least give your body 1 day of complete rest to fully recover. But you may find your sweet spot is 4 or 5 days per week where it suits your lifestyle and you recover your best. Again, a heightened sense of awareness is absolutely key when it comes to this jacked after 40 lifestyle. But I also don't want you to feel locked in to, like, if you find that 4 days per week is best for you, you don't always have to train 4 days per week. With this jacked after 40 lifestyle, I find that the best form of progression is to ramp up training volume and then pull it back to allow your body to resensitize to the training stimulus, to your body to fully recover, the fatigue to completely dissipate from your muscles, and then ramp the training volume back up again. So if 3 days per week is great for lower volume training, it can really enhance that recoverability because you're giving your body 4 days to fully recover, and you're not hitting it with high volume training. As you ramp up your training volume, maybe you can shift to 4 days, 5 days, and then even 6 days when it gets to that really high training volume, so you can really spread it over time and you're not beating yourself down each and every workout. You're not spending hours and hours in the gym each and every time. So there is no, like I said, one size fits all best number of days per week to work out. It's all going to be very individual. It's going to depend on your lifestyle. It's also going to depend on your recoverability. The recoverability has a lot of factors that come into play as well. The whole point of this jacked after 40 lifestyle is to live your life to the fullest and have fun. Have an open mind. Be curious. Be willing to experiment with different approaches. The beauty of training different days per week is that it really opens the doors to experimenting with different training splits and seeing how your body responds to those. But it really is important to have a heightened sense of awareness. Some men over 40 may find that they're more mentally engaged the more days per week they're training. It really allows them to solidify their positive habits. So be aware of all those things and how you're responding to the different days of training per week. But again, the whole point, just have freaking fun. Don't pigeonhole yourself into any kind of approach and certain number of days per week that you're training or a certain training split that you're following. Be curious, have an open mind, and just give your best effort each and every step of the way. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, do me a favor and share it with them. More than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. I'd love to know how many days per week you train, why you enjoy that, and if you do change up the number of days that you work out each week. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.